Trump is pushing the market down, and it's clear as day what's happening. Yet people are wondering, we have these great earnings from Facebook or Meta yesterday, from Microsoft. Amazon just announced earnings, and they beat across the board. The economy looks strong. We have a good GDP number. We have decent PCE. We have bullish news happening in crypto every single day. Like today, the SEC chair, Paul Adkins, says that he's unveiling a crypto project, a commission-wide push to modernize security rules and move the U.S. financial markets on chain. So we have the SEC pushing for crypto. They want to bring more assets onto the blockchain. Yet Bitcoin's falling down to 116.5. We have the S&P falling 1.7% throughout the day. We hit new all-time highs, then just fell to negative 0.5%. What the heck is going on? Well, I can tell you what's going on. There are a few things that are causing us to fall down. And I know how much everyone loves the 24-hour rule. Just to be clear, I'll talk about this again in a few minutes, but I'm not saying that the market's going to crash in 24 hours. I'm extremely bullish on this market, but we are falling down today, and people are wondering why, because there's so much good news. And Trump, I think, is one of the main drivers of that. I'm not ragging on Trump, but one of the things that he's doing right now is causing some uncertainty. So we'll talk about that in the video as well. It's something that has to do with tomorrow. That's why I say 24 hours on this. We'll also look at Amazon's earnings. We'll look at MicroStrategy. We'll look at Coinbase. We'll look at what Tom Lee just said too, that we are not frothy. We're at the midpoint of this cycle. We'll get into all that. If you don't mind though, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. If you want to trade crypto, check out the link underneath the video to BTCC. They have some special bonuses going on right now. As you can see, we're up anywhere from 48% to 300% on our positions over on BTCC. They have a bonus going on right now where you get 20% deposit bonus. I did not get this when I started trading on the platform, so you might as well take advantage of this while it's here. There's also a link to BYDeFi as well. They have a deposit bonus, and then also we run these constant campaigns where you can get money up to $10,000 in XRP tokens for free. It goes on for another 9 days, and before this we ran one for Bitcoin, and you can participate in all of these. So it's just free money. Every couple weeks you can get some free tokens. I saw some people getting $500 or $800 within the community. So check that out underneath. It's, like I said, it's completely free. There's also a link to the Telegram. I just posted 2 new videos on there just for the Telegram. It's completely free as well. It's basically a Patreon, but for free. So check that out underneath the video. Amazon just announced earnings and they crushed it. They see Q3 net sales between 174 and 179.5 billion. The estimate was 173.24. They beat EPS and revenue estimates too, and operating income. They beat EPS by 20% versus expectations. They beat the revenue by $4 or $5 billion. AWS sales beat as well by $100 million. Operating income beat by 2.17 billion. And right now the stock is down about 2% after hours. I have a little bit more digging into this, but it could be the deceleration in the cloud growth, but still they beat expectations. Could be that every large company right now announces more and more spend on infrastructure, so it could be that as well. Free cash flow did go down significantly from last year, but I believe they had a one-time impact last year. So it's interesting. You can have blowout earnings right now, and Microsoft and Meta jumped, but Amazon actually going down a little bit. And we have the S&P 500 falling throughout the day. We have Bitcoin falling. We have altcoins falling as well. Why is this happening? Well, there are just a few main things that come to mind. First of all, Donald Trump has reiterated that August 1st will be the deadline and that they're holding strong on tariffs. So tomorrow it starts. I know everyone loves when I say 24 hours. And to be clear, I'm not saying we're crashing in 24 hours, that we're going to crash. I'm saying we're falling right now. And in 24 hours, actually less than that, we have the deadline. We're going to start seeing tariffs being implemented. And the market doesn't like that. The market wanted to see it push back, or something happened that gave us a little bit more time or clarity. But yeah, at this point, it looks like tariffs start tomorrow. We also have some economic news tomorrow. We have the employment report, as well as hourly wages and consumer sentiment. So there's obviously some big economic events happening tomorrow as well. Some key data that the market's going to be watching. So between Donald Trump, between the data tomorrow, and just remember, it's the close. It's the close of the month. So there are manipulators that are trying to manipulate the price to make big profits on derivatives and options. So yeah, they're going to try to force people's hands. They're going to try to liquidate investors. They're going to try to push the price lower, freak out the market, then ride it back up. This is what constantly happens. We can see that with Bitcoin: chop down, up, over and over. I have more thoughts on that later in the video, but yeah, let's look at this. As you can see, just Amazon crushing earnings. Let's see if MicroStrategy has their earnings out yet. Looks like they do not. Let's look at Coinbase. Coinbase announcing earnings after the close today as well. They do not have earnings out, but let's just double check that. Let me pull up one other thing. It's interesting to watch Coinbase because it gives us an idea for who's really trading a lot, what they're trading. So we saw a huge boost last quarter in XRP trading. So it'll be interesting to see, are people going more risk on with altcoins? Is retail volume going up? I'd say from the first quarter, it's probably stayed fairly steady. I think Q4 was probably a stronger quarter than the last two quarters for trading, but we'll see. They do have their expectations from last quarter. This is last quarter's report, but they said that they were expecting 600 to 680 million in subscription and services revenue. Transaction expenses, let's just move on from there. You can see some of their expectations here, but we'll take a look at this when they announce their earnings. I do have MicroStrategy's earnings here. Let me just pull this up. Okay. Let's actually just verify that this is correct here. MicroStrategy, their earnings are out. Their EPS, $32. Of course, they have a lot of gains on their crypto, or on their Bitcoin. Revenue was 114 million versus expected 112, so they beat by 2%, but they beat EPS by an insane number. It actually, I think, is just infinite because their expected numbers were negative. But yeah, it's not like it really matters for MicroStrategy. Like, you buy it because it's a leverage play on Bitcoin, not because of any earnings that they're going to give. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video, but let's move on to what Tom Lee just said on the market, and then I'll give you some more thoughts.
Bring in now another smart voice on this. That is Tom Lee, of course, head of Fundstrat Research, got a brand new ETF, Granny Shots ETF, which is the fastest ever in less than a year to get to, I think, how many in assets? 2 billion, Tom?
2 billion, yes.
So you're like the Figma of ETFs.
Well, if Granny opens up 130 points, yes, that would be correct. Brian.
I mean, okay, but to get the broader point I'm making,
yes, I do.
You take a lot of, I will say, it's a family network, doo-doo for being bullish all the time. But you've been right. Like when you've been bullish and held strong and held fast, when others were cutting their S&P forecasts, people gave you grief, you've been right. Do you worry? Is there any part of Tom Lee that worries at all, not the drummer, that worries at all that things are getting a little frothy?
Brian, we've seen markets get frothy and correct. I've been covering markets for 35 years. So, I went through 99. We went through 2019 and 2022 and the 2021 top that was painful into 2022. And I'd say that signs of a top are really reckless use of borrowing at a time when cycle indicators are at a top. One thing to be mindful of in 2025 is that the ISM manufacturing hasn't stayed above 50 for 29 months. That's the longest stretch in history. So we know businesses have been ultra cautious. Despite what people say is froth, I mean, maybe the Robinhood community is quite enthusiastic, but in a general sense, because Fundstrat has 10,000 RIA clients and over 400 hedge funds, our community of clients is not that enthusiastic. I think it really does sync up with the $7 trillion of cash that you see. People are cautious, and when people are cautious at the top, as you know, that's not bell ringing. That's generally more mid-cycle.
Yeah. I'm gonna give another stat here from, I don't want to steal people's stats without giving them credit. My friend and colleague Max Myers says that Meta and Microsoft now have the combined market cap of the entire Tokyo Stock Exchange. Every company in Japan, the world's fourth or fifth biggest economy, every company combined is now the same size as just two American companies. Does that kind of stuff worry you, Tom? Or are we that much better? Is our system better? Are companies better? We deserve that.
Well, I like Max's stats, but one thing Max should keep in mind is that if you look at earnings growth since 2019 to now, the U.S. has left every other country in the dust. India is the second closest, but almost 20 percentage points behind. Of the top 25 most profitable companies in the world today, 21 are U.S. companies. So
that's a crazy stat. 21 of the top 25 most profitable companies are U.S. based. You have to remember too, it's not like Meta is trading at a frothy valuation. It's at a 2026 PE. And this is for a company that's growing. Let's just look at their EPS. This year versus last year, it grew 24 versus 23. It grew 60% in earnings per share. Let's just look at the trailing to maybe provide a more accurate view. 40% from Q2 to Q2. So yeah, if you're going to be growing 40% bottom line and top line is growing 20%, doesn't really matter if you're valued more than the entire Tokyo exchange just by yourself. Of course, I don't expect like Meta to grow at these rates for the next 5 years, but at the end of the day, it's just numbers. Like if Tokyo and all the companies in Tokyo were growing by this amount, they would be going up just as much as Meta on a regular basis. And I agree with Tom Lea. This does not seem very frothy to me, because even though Meta's up and Microsoft is up and they're talking about huge AI spend, they both are reaffirming how much they're spending and actually raising how much they're going to spend. It's not like the market's just running away and everyone's so excited just throwing money at the market today. No, it's like a sideways / maybe even down day in the markets. So it doesn't seem like people are allowing this to cloud their view and they're getting like overly exuberant. Sure, PEs might be slightly higher than average, but also we have very quick growth right now. GDP is high. And there is still some caution, right? People are still a little bit cautious of the market with tariffs and with inflation and with the Fed. But that just provides more firepower for the future. Let's get back to Tom Lea, though, just the last little bit.
There's a reason Microsoft and Meta dwarf other countries. They're leaders in innovation. And if we look at what really is the juggernaut of the U.S. economy, it's technology and spearheaded by AI and now digital assets. But it's also financial innovation, and that's Jamie at the helm there. The leadership of these two sort of things driving the U.S. economy are kind of unassailable. So in my opinion, I think it's justified that these are the largest companies in the world.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are the most profitable, quickest growing companies. It's not like the number one company in the world is trading at 100 PE or 150 or something like that. It's not like Palantir is the largest company in the world. We're talking about like NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA, or probably Microsoft now, is the largest, one of those two. But NVIDIA is trading at, I guess, a little bit frothy. The NTM PE, or next 12 months PE, is 33. But again, this is a company that's growing very quickly. I mean, revenue is up 86% the trailing 12 months. Earnings per share up 81%. Like, this is a very quickly growing company. Let's just look at the last quarter even. It doesn't really affect it. 70%. Free cash flow up 74%. EPS 27%. So even though this, might be like a little bit frothy, keep in mind this is the quickest growing company in the world of the mega caps. MSFT also very quickly growing. Microsoft, it's a juggernaut. We have Amazon reporting after hours here, and actually we'll include it in this video. But the fact is these are very profitable companies. So Tom Lee saying, hey, I don't think we're close to the top. I think, we're more mid-cycle. And actually for crypto too, we're seeing so much bullish stuff come out for crypto. Like the SEC chair, Paul Atkins, unveiling a project crypto. Let me actually just pull up something else he said. He says it's a key priority to establish clear crypto regulations. Like, his job, the SEC's job now, is not to create enforcement actions, to go after crypto companies, to try to squeeze out a few $100 million from the bad actors or even the good actors. Their job now is to schmooze the crypto industry into working with within the borders again. And yesterday, Trump said jump, and the SEC today is saying how high. Yesterday, they said we want the SEC to create a framework, and the CFTC. And today, the SEC is making a key priority and starting this crypto, what's it called? Project Crypto. So things are looking bullish for Bitcoin and crypto as well. Even if the price isn't up right now, even if we're not pumping up 10% today, that's fine. People are a little bit cautious. We're not frothy at this point yet. And I like where we're at. Again, if you do want to trade crypto, there are links underneath the video. Check out BTCC. Right now, BTCC has this 20% bonus, which is just awesome. 20% deposit bonus. You can check it out, completely free to sign up, and you might as well get a bonus. There's also a link underneath the video to BYDFi. This is a great exchange too. I started using it just a few months ago, and I've loved it so far. Right now, we have this trade and earn $10,000 of XRP event, and if you deposit $5,000 or more, your rewards increase by 3%. So check this out. We continue to run more and more campaigns, so you might as well join with the link and get some of these free rewards just for trading. And we're going to keep on giving back through these different events. Check out my Telegram too. I have three exclusive videos, two that I've dropped in the last 48 hours. And we also have some more explanations on like how to get into this event in case you're having a hard time. And depending on how much you trade, you can also join there to get in on the whale group too, where we have some conversations around trading and stuff like that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.